and welcome to the Green and Gold Gridiron Show. My name is Margot Morin.
I'm Chris Sheets from the Kissin' Country Morning Show.
And speaking of Kissin' Country, Chris, I heard you had a pretty amazing weekend.
We did at the Canadian Country Music Awards. Our radio station actually became the Country Music Radio Station of the Year for the second consecutive year and the fourth time in 6 years. So we got to thank all those great Kissin' Country listeners and everybody that supports country music in Edmonton. We love you all. But enough about that. On with the show. What is former Eskimo Larry Wruck up to these days? Let's find out.
Shane, Larry at First Truck, how are you doing?
I'm in sales here at First Truck Center. We're a Freightliner dealership here in Edmonton, and I've been here since 1993. I got my feet wet while I was still playing, and the ownership group here at First Truck was good enough to sort of show me the ropes, and I've been here ever since. You know, I played for 10 years and I had never really done much else. So when they had asked me to come in for an interview, you know, I thought, well, yeah, it's about time I got on and thinking about, you know, life after football, because you know, it's a short career. I was lucky and fortunate enough to play for a long time, but most guys don't, and we tend to put off any thoughts of post-football.
Wilson is. Sideline pattern to Gerald Wilcox. He's taken out of bounds.
We ran some very aggressive defenses, blitzed a lot, tried to dictate the games to a large degree to a lot of the offenses and a lot of the games we played in. But it was like, yeah, who was going to make the next play, the next big play? Because we'd have, you know, 8 or 10 guys on the defense that were star players, you know, all-stars.
Garza's pass is intercepted, picked off by Larry Wruck.
I got 2 rings. It was in 5 Grey Cups, actually. One of which I never played in. It was my very last game. I was injured with a hamstring pull at the time, but yeah, appeared in 5 games and won 2. We've got a wine fest, we've got a couple of golf tournaments, we've got a casino, that sort of thing. So it's largely, you know, involved with that. There's a lot of my responsibility falls on that sort of stuff, and you know, we get together once a month and meet in our igloo room there at the stadium and just sort of lay out our plan of attack, and we're trying to do, you know, a lot of good for not only, you know, children's and women's charities here in Edmonton, but as well as amateur football. Probably by the time I was 6 or 7 years old, I knew that I wanted to play pro football, and you know, I achieved that goal, and it was very, very good to me, you know, and was lucky enough to be a part of some great teams right from high school level to, you know, professional, and a lot of great memories for sure.
So Larry and the Eskimos alumni have done so much to help former players and various charitable organizations throughout the years.
They really have, and that happens because these players do so much for charities throughout the year. That's what Champions in the Community is all about. And here's a perfect example. This week we tag along with Andrew Nowacki and head coach Ritchie as they visit all those beautiful kids at the Stollery Childrens Hospital.
We've been doing this since 2005, and we've carried it through. So we come up the day before every game, and we just love being able to come up and see the kids and bring it up to coaches and the players.
You know, I've been in situations in and out of the hospital atmosphere and that. So anytime you can get some sort of distraction and a positive change, you know, that's always good.
Their parents say we give a lot to them, but you know something, I get more in return than I can ever give, because like I said, they feel my heart, they feel my soul, and you see their drive and determination, and you can see a smile on their face. You know, it makes my smile a lot better.
Most kids in the hospital, mostly in their rooms, and they get to come out here and take a break from their room in bed. It's really nice, and I appreciate it.
It's a very humbling experience, and it's just an experience that, from my side, is being able to coach. It makes it very gratifying and very thankful for what I have to do, because some of these young people, they're battling for their lives, and that puts life in perspective. Because you know, we complain about a football game, but you know something, this is something that's far more important. So I think anytime I come here, I live with a refreshed heart and very thankfulness for the opportunity to do what I do.
It's great because it brings a different perspective. It gives us a different perspective, and there's more to football, and it really grounds us and humbles us, but just being around the kids, I mean, it's a great time.
At first I was like, oh my god, but it was nice like for them to just come and hang out, like playing rock band next to Andrew, and it was awesome. Like it was nice for them to just come hang out and say hi. It's really nice. It shows they care, and it's nice to meet other people from around that like are willing to come out and get our minds off everything, and it was really good.
This is what life is all about. You know, it's about giving, it's about receiving, it's about making yourself available for anyone, whether they're kids or whether they're adults.
There's various things that we do in the community, but this especially is something that's special to us, and it's really humbling to be able to come here and visit the children.
Well, that certainly puts football or anything else into perspective, doesn't it? It's amazing to see the smiles on those kids' faces, and certainly Andrew's and Ritchie's as well. And to think they do it before each and every home game.
That's awesome. It really is. So up next in Out of Bounds, we're going to be having a battle of the footballs. Are you confused?
I am.
Oh yeah, that's fairly normal,
Yes,
I guess,
it is.
right? Well, what we're going to do is have a field goal free kick challenge with some of the kickers from our Eskimos and some players from FC Edmonton. So check it out.
And we're going to use different footballs, right? European and American ones? Yeah.
How about we just use your noggin?
All right.
Okay.
It's big enough.
Played probably about 14 years. You know, it was probably one of the first sports that I played, and didn't really see a future in it, but I always loved football more, so I kind of made the transition. It's definitely a different technique, and it was definitely something when I started kicking a football, I had to learn how to do it. And but having the soccer background in terms of, you know, developing your strength helps out tremendously. And if I didn't have a soccer background, I probably would have never been a kicker.
Played about 12, 13 years as a kid. You know, when you're a kid, you pretty much play every sport, and soccer is definitely one of my favorite sports, especially from my background, being Italian. So I think it's sort of my blood to play soccer. It's been a long time since I kicked a soccer ball. Well, we kick them in practice once in a while for block punts, but you know, it'll definitely be a learning experience, I think.
I'm from Calgary, so I grew up watching the Stampeders, a little bit of American football here and there. Never really been big into football, but if it's on TV, I'll watch it. I've been to a couple games. Probably junior high. I mean, gym class, that's probably the last time I've tried to kick a field goal. I wasn't too good. Maybe I could only probably hit it from the 20-yard line. I don't know. I'm hoping I'll get a few through the uprights. I'm not going to be cocky or anything and say I'll hit them all, but hopefully I'll get a few.
I watched the game, last game against Toronto. That's the first my experience about American football. It's a great sport. My family enjoy. When I believed the guys, they said to me, "You are the goalie this year, must have very well." So I hope so.
My only experience is what I saw on television, I'm afraid. So, but I'm starting to like it. Well, I'm about to experience the difference, so I'm looking forward to that. But I hope that after kicking a couple balls, you'll get a feeling of what it's like, and I think we'll be able to, to kick them. Let's see how it goes.
Remember to stay tuned for the second part of Out of Bounds when we see the players attempting 55-yard field goals.
So one thing that's an amazing attempt is all of these practices that the cheerleaders have to go to.
I bet.
They work so hard every Wednesday and Saturday, and so we actually went to one of their practices just to see how intense it actually is. So check it out.
We work on all of our material from the day we make the team in March till the first game. So we've been really working on everything. Lots of work to get everything looking very professional. I don't think you ever hit the point where everything feels perfect. I think there's always something you can work on to make it look that much better.
My role is a stunter. So basically there's 7 tops and 2 guys for every top, so there's 14 guys on the team, and we are the acrobatic part of the Edmonton Eskimo cheer team. The acrobatic part is when you go to the games, you see the girls flying in the air. That's basically what we do. Lots of rotational skills, lots of partner stunts. Most of us came from a tumbling background like gymnastics, so we have a good rotational sense and like body awareness. Practices more so go through the routines. We learn the material that we're going to be performing, and then after that we just practice until it's perfect. I'd say within one practice you can have at least one routine down and go over some cheers, so we work really hard.
I'm a stunter. I'm actually Chelsea's base. So what we do is we throw the girls up. We lift them up with one hand, two hands. They pull different variations on one foot. They do flips and turns as they're coming down. We also throw them up in the air and catch them too. Well, we stress safety. For some of the girls that have been on the team, they'll try anything. It's crazy. They put their lives in our hands every day, and it's awesome how they do that. And like seriously, I'd say like the first day they come in, they feel safe with us, just because they know that no matter what, we'll catch them.
We're standing on the 40-yard line at Commonwealth Stadium, where, of course, all the action will be happening on Grey Cup Sunday. But before that, the game is sold out. There's so many other great activities happening in the city. Dwayne Vinot is with us, the king of all things Grey Cup, and give us some examples of some of that other stuff. The tickets have now gone on sale for, Dwayne.
Yeah, we just went on sale on September 15th, and with all of our festival events, and we're very excited to get it on sale and just, the game sold out like you mentioned, and just see, get everything going and get that excitement built up. And two of the things that are on game day, the exciting stuff that we've never done before, is the tailgate parties, and we have the indoor tailgate and the outdoor, and the headliner that we just announced for the indoor is Cor Blund, who you know a lot about, and we're excited about that. And we have a couple of cabarets as well at the Shaw on the Friday and Saturday evening, and the headliner for the Saturday night is Tom Cochran with some other special guests, and those are just to name a couple.
Hot to Huddle, if people want more information about these events and how they get their tickets, where do they go?
www.greycupfestival2010.com, and there's lots on there. We're doing approximately 50 events outside the game, so lots of things to go and see and take part in during Grey Cup.
Even if you don't get a ticket to the game, you're going to feel like you were a part of it in this city. It's guaranteed.
Exactly, and a lot of people do that, as you know, come in and take part in the festivities, and some go to the game and some don't, but it really is a true festival.
Thank you very much. Up next in Pro Fitness, we'll catch up with TJ Hill, who just might be the hardest working Eskimo. Let's find out why.
Hello, my name is TJ Hill, Edmonton Eskimos. I'm defensive back, also known as playing the dime linebacker spot. We're here today. I'm going to show you guys some of my daily routine, my workout schedule. My workout schedule tends to change every now and then. It all depends on when our game and when was our next game. So sometimes I have to make adjustments, because sometimes I may have a game on a Sunday, then sometimes I have a game on a Friday. So depending on the schedule, I adjust my workout schedule as well. Normally, the first day I work out, I normally try to get the leg day in. And on day 2, I try to get like upper body. Wednesday, I mix it in. During the season, pretty much all I'm trying to do is maintain my strength. I mean, that's what the off-season is all about, getting stronger, getting bigger, getting faster. But now during the season, I'm trying to just maintain my strength. Just trying to, if I can get stronger, that's a bonus. But we're all trying to maintain and prevent injuries. And then we know we're gonna have some nicks and nags here and there, but that's the beauty of being in the weight room as much as I do, because that way I can recover faster. So let's get started. See, right now, we're just gonna go through some of my daily routines. Like I said, I work out twice a day. So when I come in the morning around 7:15, 7:30, I usually come to the locker room, get dressed. And just to get my blood flowing, a quick little 20, 30-minute calisthenic workout. Like I said, a lot of teammates make fun of me because I'm constantly in the gym. So what I'm gonna show you right now is just a normal typical pull-up. I tend to do them different ways. I can do them here, I can do them back or behind the neck. So I'm just gonna show you one of just my normal routines I do on any given day. I pretty much do this about 5-6 days out of the week. So I'm just gonna do a couple reps of backward pull-ups, working my back, working my traps, and working my shoulders. Right now, I'm gonna show you oblique exercise. It also works the oblique and the hamstring, because at my position, I pretty much have a double duty position. Even though I'm known as a defensive back, I'm also a linebacker. So I have to be fast enough to cover the receivers, but I have to be strong enough to be able to take on the pounding of the 300 and 290 pound linemen too. So pretty much I play a rough position, but so I got a double duty position. So this is exercise I'm about to do right now. It works my obliques and it works my hamstring. It's something me and my trainer came up with from back home, but actually we stole it from the great boxer, Floyd Mayweather. Let me get it right. Floyd Money Mayweather. He never lost before, so I gotta give him his respect. So actually we stole this from Floyd. Chris, you can help me out for a second? That's one. That's two. Like I said, we stole this from Floyd Mayweather, so I throw a couple punches at the end, act like I'm boxing a little bit, and that's it. On our next exercise here, we're gonna do some lunges. Basically, the lunges for your quads, your hamstrings, and your glutes. Like I said, at my position, we gotta have strong endurance, strong stamina, because I gotta keep up with the fast receivers. I'm basically going against the fastest players on the team, on the opposing team. So basically what we're gonna do is, we're gonna strengthen up the quads, strengthen the hamstrings, strengthen up the glutes. That's what lunges all do. Now you can do lunges about 5, 6 different ways. What we're gonna do here, I'm gonna do one leg lunges. I'm gonna stand it from the bench, take a lot of pressure off my knee. So, at this point in time in the season, coming from training camp, we're gonna cheat every little way possible way we can. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do one leg lunges off of the bench. You're gonna come straight down, back straight, load up through your heels. So a lot of people tend to push off when they toes and balls of their feet, but in reality, you want to push off through your heels because you want to work that quad, you want to work that hamstring, you want to work them glutes. And again, like I said, the reason why I'm doing it off the bench, I want to take a lot of pressure off my knee. Like you could do walking lunges, you could do standing lunges, you could do them in place, but this right here takes a lot of pressure off your knee. Pretty much, this goes from a defensive back, from a defensive lineman to offensive lineman to a quarterback. So again, those are lunges, explosion drills, explosion exercise, and anybody can benefit from it.
Margot, I could try that little trick that TJ learned from Floyd Mayweather with the old sit-up thing, but when I lay in my hammock in the summertime, I get an extra long straw so I don't accidentally do a sit-up when I take a sip out of my glass.
So I believe that's called the opposite of a sit-up.
That would be a sit-down.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So up next, we all know that soccer and football share a lot of similarities. Mm-hmm. Well, they share the same name, and they both kick the ball a lot,
They
right?
do. The difference is football players, of course, they get hit a lot, and soccer players seem to get hurt a lot. You didn't even get touched. Why are you laying on the ground? But anyway.
So we're going to check that out as we do a free kick field goal challenge.
How you doing? I'm Noel Prefontaine with the Edmonton Eskimos.
And I'm Schiavone with the Edmonton Eskimos.
And today we're going to be going with the FC Edmonton, and they're going to teach us how to do some free kicks, and then we're going to teach them how to kick field goals.
So when you're taking a free kick, you want to place the ball, take a few steps back, and then when you run up, you got to place your foot, point your foot to where you want the ball to go, and then when you swing through with a bit of curve like that. That's what makes the ball curve. So you just swing through the ball. Hopefully it goes where you want it to. So on this next free kick, the goalie stepped out of the net a little bit, and we're going to try and curve the ball around him.
Yeah, now you're wondering about the black tee. Obviously, you kick soccer ball off the ground. The NFL and college football in the States, you have to kick off the ground as well. But up here, we're allowed to use a 1-inch tee just to help with elevation. The biggest difference between kicking a football and kicking a soccer ball is you'll find is not only the feel when it comes off your foot, but it's you have to be much more thorough in your approach. You can't just set the ball down like a free kick and back up and then take a running starter. Everything has to be precise. So, for instance, I'm a left-footed kicker. What I would do is I always place my foot to where I'm going to plant, and then I take 3 steps back. And it's always 3. And I'm always in the same position here for every time I kick the ball, right? It's vitally important that your approach is precise, so it helps out with consistency. If a soccer player, and most soccer players that I've been around that try to kick footballs, is they get back here like they're kicking a free kick, and then so this distance varies all the time for them, right? So we'll develop an approach for you guys. It'll make it easier. You were showing us how to spin the ball on the free kicks. In order to do that, you have to lock your ankle, right, to spin the soccer ball. It'll be pretty ugly if you do it with a football, okay? So it's important that when you guys kick field goals, that when you come through and you strike, that you really open your foot up and keep it locked here. Because you're gonna try to expose this area to where you're gonna kick it. You don't wanna kick off your toe, you wanna kick in this area like you'd be trying to kick it. I think like you said earlier, like you're kicking a goal kick or something you're trying to get some distance on. I'll give you guys an idea of what I'm talking about. Approach is always the same. Oh, yeah. There you go, I'm a hell of a coach. We're going to try a little challenge here, make this thing a little fun, and Schiavone and I are going to try from 55 yards, and the soccer players will try from 45.
So we were going to go from 45, but our teammates were giving us a little slack, so we're going to try from 55 now. Ryan's going to go first. Go, Ryan.
So Prefontaine really could bend it like Beckham, but I've got to give the FC Edmonton players a little bit of credit. For one, it was their first time ever even touching an American football.
Crazy.
And then they almost got a 55-yard kick on their second attempt. One guy even hit the uprights.
Amazing. You know what, this week we have a very special person for people of the Empire. This lady is so special, the whole Eskimo organization refer to her by the name of Grandma.
I'm Carleen Herzog, and I've been a fan of the Edmonton Eskimos for over 50 years. In 1953, I was at a friend's house, and her dad was listening to the game on the radio. So I started listening to the game, he started explaining it to me, and I enjoyed it. Then after I got married, nobody else other than my daughter was really interested in football. But the rule in our house was, when the game's on the radio, everybody be quiet. When it's on TV, get lost.
And the greatest of all Grey Cup games is over. Worthy football champions of all of Canada.
For the Grey Cup parade, we wrote a letter to the team congratulating them on their Grey Cup. And we ran up to a couple of cars and they said, no, sorry, they couldn't accept anything. And finally, Jackie Parker's car stopped in front of us. And I ran up to him and I told him, you know, congratulations to the whole team. It's a letter for the team. He took the letter, put it in his pocket, said, thank you very much. I'll make sure everybody reads it. I don't know if we did or not, but boy, that was it. And he's been my favorite player ever since. My husband took me to my first game in 61 or 62 for an anniversary present. I didn't know anything about it until we pulled up in front of Clark Stadium. He gave me the tickets. I ran up to the gate And then I realized I had to wait for him. I spent a lot of time walking around just taking in everything and bought a program. Finally, maybe 5-10 years later, I had to finally throw it out. It was worn out. But that was my first game, and I loved it. It's the best present I ever had. In 1978, when I got my first season's ticket, was the first game in Commonwealth. It was a thrill. I mean, you just don't know what it's like to sit in a beautiful stadium, watch your team, and be right there in it. It's great. That was a thrill. It was the biggest thrill of my life, really. Lorna May phoned me and told me I was chosen, and I hung up on her. I didn't believe her. And I was excited. I was shaking. I didn't sleep for a week before, and I was fine until after I raised the flag, and I turned around and I looked at the Videotron and saw my name up. And I lost. It was such a thrill. It's just unbelievable. I don't think there's anything better than the Eskimo organization. I'm getting my pictures taken with the Eskimos. That's a thrill. I had thought of it, but it was my daughter that, when the organization donated it to the Ladies' Night Out, and Lorna May would be running out every 5 minutes to make sure I got the bid, and finally won it, and it's going to be perfect. It's going to go up in my wall in the front room.
What a sweet old lady.
Oh, she's beautiful, isn't she? But you've obviously never seen her at a game. You know what? Her sat beside her. She's a real trash talker.
Yeah, she totally seems like the type, Chris.
Yeah, not so much.
So up next in our teammate trivia, Alana Nolan is going to be talking to teammates Elliot Richardson and Mark Restelli to see who knows their roommate, Adam Rodgers, the best. So check it out.
We're here for another edition of Teammate Trivia. We are pairing roommates Mark Restelli and Elliot Richardson again, finding out who knows Adam Rodgers better. So Adam's worst habit is A, biting his fingernails, B, text messaging, or C, not doing the dishes.
I can go with C, not doing the dishes.
I'm gonna go with neither. It's actually leaving his water cup in the middle of the floor every single day because that's the spot where it's supposed to go. And we all knock it over. We have to clean it up, and he's always like, "Hey, this is where I put my water cup." I'm surprised he didn't put that.
D knocks it over.
I know I'm right. I'm positive I'm right.
Probably not doing the dishes. Yeah.
How many siblings does Adam have? A4, B3, or C2?
2.
2.
2.
Which one word best describes his personality? A, quiet, B, fun, or C, moody?
Again, are we talking post midnight? I'm gonna go with calm. All right, what is it again?
Quiet.
Quiet.
Oh man, I definitely have to go with quiet. Even though I'm not trying to repeat his answers, I just know that's right.
I'm trying to repeat my answer.
I like to have fun.
Well, that does it for today's show, but you can bet that we'll be back here next Wednesday starting at 4 p.m. on Shaw TV Channel 10. You can always check us out at esks.com and shawtv.com as well.
And remember, our half-hour show only runs every second Saturday and Sunday, so our next half-hour show will be on October 9th. Until then, go Esko!
That's my birthday. My name is Margot Morin.
I'm Chris Sheets from the Kissin' Country Morning Show.
And speaking of
Oh. You know, after I've already worked for 4 hours in the air, I'm actually
warmed up.
Like, normally I would come here and I'd be like, yeah.
The footballs.
Okay.
Did that sound kind of weird?
That works. No, I like to say
Okay, we'll try that again. I'm sorry.
We could have just kept going.
I could have.
We could have kept going. We could have pulled that out of the fire.
The footballs was
Grey Cup Sunday, but there's so much more to Grey Cup than just that. DeWay game. DeWay.
We're pulling a Margot here. No bloopers.
Soccer and football players share some similarities, I understand.
Oh yeah, that was